Vibrational divine loving and harmonious blessings to each and every single one of you. Welcome to Samadhi Sea of Wisdom Meditation School live online broadcast. We're going to wait a few minutes to see to get Facebook on with us. Doesn't say we're on yet.
Nope.
Okay, let me see. Oh. So just bear with us 1 second. Great day, Instagram. Great day, YouTube. Great day, everyone. It's a beautiful day today, which is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. And today's message is a very, very important message. Which this month it's on freedom. So we're going to be talking about freedom. There we go. Share. Facebook. There we go. So now share it on your. Join us. Okay, everyone. So again, welcome to Samadhi. We're here at Samadhi, here in Yuma, Arizona. We are not about positivity. We're not about negativity. We are about authenticity. We are about genuineness. We're about realness. We're about being true to you. And the message today is really simple. Are you free to be you? Because in a world where everybody's trying to fit in somewhere, trying to say or do or think the way everybody else wants to think, where are you in the picture? Here at Samadhi, when we say it's about genuineness, we want to awaken that within you. We want to remind you of that because that is our ultimate goal, is to remind humanity that there is a genuine you. There is a divine, beautiful you that is just waiting to come out. It's just waiting to show up, to show the world what you came to do, what you came to be, what you came to give in this world. Because each and every single one of us have something special and amazing inside of us. And we all came with different passions, abilities, gifts, talents, and ideas, and different purposes, different passions, different plans. And when we focus on just being genuine, it's that simple. Just being genuine, we can make this world a better place. And we are making this world a better place. Because when you don't show up in your genuineness, not only are you robbing yourself from you in the world, but you're robbing the world of what you came to be, what you came to do. You're robbing the world of the dreams that can literally transform the world. You're robbing the world of the vision that the world is waiting to show. So, Here at Samadhi, our intention, our mission is to awaken that in humanity. And that's what we live to do, and that's what we do every single day. So my question to you before we go into the breath is, are you being conscious? Do you have consciousness in everything that you do? Are you too busy trying to be someone or trying to act like something you're not? Falling asleep to the genuine you, trying to prove yourself to the world, trying to prove yourself to everybody, instead of showing up with yourself, loving yourself, and showing up in that, in the world, in that space, showing up fully, presently, lovingly, consciously. Because it doesn't matter what we have or what we don't have. It doesn't matter what we know or what we don't know. Because all of that really isn't real until we awaken and to be conscious, present, and being in that moment. Being in moment to moment of every day, taking the time to breathe, taking the time to be aware of how am I in this moment? Where am I in this moment? Am I here, or am I in the past? Or am I in the future? Or am I in someone else's head? Am I trying to control other people? Am I trying to be something that I'm not so I can please other people? So let's take a deep breath. And let's be present in this moment. Just let everything go. If this is your first time here, or you've been here several times with Samadhi, just simply breathe deeply, allow yourself to let go. And when things come up, acknowledge them, bring your awareness back to the breath, and follow the breath like a bridge to your center. And just be there. Every time the brain shows up, acknowledge it, bring your awareness back to the breath, and follow it to your center. And you will naturally, organically, genuinely awaken your peace. Awaken the peace that is inside of you, always. Awaken the joy that is inside you. Awaken that presence that goes beyond words that I can share, that awakens within you. It's there. So just take a moment to relax into this moment. Let everything go with love and appreciation and presence. Breathe, acknowledge, breath. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Slowly start to come back to yourself, being aware of yourself, of the body, of this moment, of this place that you're in, the room, the temperature, the feeling of this moment. Give an appreciation and honor for this moment, that we are alive, that our purpose is still here present. As you slowly open your eyes, take a look around, just take everything in. Don't label anything, don't comment anything, just be present with it. No matter what you see, just be present with it. And know that everything is vibration. We live in a vibrational world. Learning the ancient language of vibration. Thank you everyone for joining us. Just slowly take your time. And we talk about freedom. This is the greatest freedom you can give yourself. We overcomplicate it. It's so simple. It's so simple that the brain wants overcomplication. It feeds on overcomplication. It feeds on many variables and all this, not nonsense, but all this noise that is necessary when we do certain things, like your job, your responsibilities. But when it comes to being present with you, it's so simple. This is true freedom. The more you practice this, the more you awaken this freedom that's always there. When we don't practice it, we're so much here trying to think and figure things out. And of course, there's always a necessary balance because that's the dance of life. But if you don't have no presence, then you can't really have no dance. You're going to always feel oppressed. You're always going to feel like you're less than. You're always going to feel like you're not good enough. You're always going to feel like you're not full enough. You're always going to feel like you're not there enough. But you are when you remember to breathe. When you remember that you're already doing it, that your body fully is showing up. Every single part of you, every single part of you, every single part of you is showing up in life. Where are you showing up? Where are you in the picture? Where's the real you showing up? Where are we? Where were we before we found each other?
This is one of the subjects that for me I feel a lot of reverence and you ask yourself that question, who are you? And we still have audio. You're not hearing anything as we are so deep within that breath. And
The thing is, you might think that there's nothing happening, but there's more than you can imagine happening when you're just quiet. When you're just sitting with yourself, when you're just being with yourself. I had to come back into this world because we talk about balance, so I had to share it on my page. I had to share it on our Samadhi page and on my Facebook. Um, so that's the balance that we talk about. That we can be in that world all day, but because we show up with ourselves, just like when we take a shower in the morning, just like when we brush our teeth in the morning, just like when we get dressed in the morning, nobody's going to do it for us. But when we take care of ourselves, we can do what we need to do. But if we don't take care of ourselves, how can we even help other people? In a world where so many people want to help people, the question is, are you helping yourself? Are you showing up to yourself every day?
And I believe that's one of the major questions when you go to a coach. It doesn't matter which one you pick or which video you watch. As Michael said, if this is your first time watching a video from Samadhi, mm, the key is you want to be free to be you. But until you really discover who you are, how could you do that? How can you actually have that freedom? And I personally believe that quest to get to know yourself, to really be your true self, is a lifetime, because we grow every day. Every day brings us lessons. We can either see them as a curse or see them as a lesson. There's times when we are faced with those storms, and then we need to decide, who am I in that storm? How is that storm going to either make me stronger, or is it going to knock me down and I start all over again? It's really up to you. But the purpose of Samadhi is to help you connect with you. And it's not an easy task. It is not an easy, it's simple, like Michael says, but it's not easy. And some people run from that task. It's such a cliche, love yourself, get to know yourself, be free to be you. But have you taken the time to really sit out and self-examine and realize, who are you really? What is your purpose? And that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. We would like it to. Everything that we do online, everything that we have at our fingertips through our telephone or our computers is instant gratification. We want it now. We want it our way. And if it takes time, effort, dedication, and perseverance, I don't want it. And we go on with the mask of pretending who we are. But deep down inside, how we spent that time in that place, which that is what we do through Samadhi, through meditation, is bring you and help you. If you want to call it, maybe we hold your hand, or we guide you, or we mirror. We may be reflections of what you need to work on. And then when you get to that place, it's ever changing, because, like I said, every day we have new challenges that we could either use as lessons and grow, or we can allow the old me to come up, be it anger or sadness or whatever tendencies we have, whatever blueprints, we allow those to come up. And then, are we really being ourselves? What is that? That's a very deep statement. For us to be bold enough to say, be free to be you, we need to identify, what is that you? So how have you been doing that? Are you? Where are you in that step of your life? Where are you in that process of your journey? Have you spent time with you? Do you sit with you? Do you really take the mask off, at least when it's just you? Do you take the mask off, and do you really just look at yourself for who you truly are? Is that even possible? Is that even a place that we want to be? Is it scary? Is it too scary to admit who you are, what you feel? Those are very deep, deep questions. And at Samadhi, we do make it about fun. Don't think that we're not. This morning is just how Spirit brought it to us. It's a very deep, deep question. And we do say to dive deep with Samadhi, because it's the sea of wisdom, and it's down there. Everyone focuses on the stars, and where's the moon today, and where's the sun, and how do we align, and what's my sign, and who's coming forth with all these stars. What happens with the depth of who you are? What happens with what comes out of that? That sea is hardly touched, and where it is, how do you go deeper? So within yourself, when you really, really, truly, honestly, and genuinely, just like Michael said, genuine, authentic, raw, when you really go deep in there, are you fooling yourself? Are you still holding on to things that allow you to feel strong because you're used to that personality? Or are you the real you? So you can be free to be you. You can't be free to be you if you don't know who you is. How can you use that freedom?
Beautiful, beautiful way to put it. May
Of course.
one thing,
Yeah.
one thing that you were saying is that there's this, because we see it a lot, there's this fear of going into yourself, of going into the silence. But the analogy that I love to remind people, or that we love to remind people, is that if you think about it, your body is taking care of you in every moment. Your body is loving you through sickness, through dis-ease. I mean, people that overcome it, it's right there as the proof. When you get cut, when you get hurt, a doctor can put you back together, but the healing process, the process of the miracle, it's you. It's the spirit within you doing what it's programmed to do. So when people tell us, "Oh no, I don't want to be quiet because you know I don't know what's in there," it's like the only thing that's in there is the divine, genuine you that is always with you, that is always there for you, that is always intervening for you, that is always loving you. So if you're afraid to sit in silence, yeah, of course, because we got to work through all these traumas and all these things. But behind the trauma, that's the blessing. Behind the trauma and all that fear, it's really nonsense because it doesn't serve you anymore. It wasn't nonsense because you had to go through that. You had to process that because there was a purpose behind that. But if you're not showing up, then you're not allowing the purpose to come forth. See, there's a purpose behind it. But if we're always afraid of ourselves, we'll never find the purpose. We'll never gain the lesson that we came to gain. Now, what are you afraid of? If I cut myself, I can show you in days my body is like it's healing itself. It's becoming back to its wholeness. And that's the divine program. Our divine program is return to wholeness. That's the unconditional love. So if your body is unconditional love, and what factors this? The brain factors the message that it sends to the body. So the brain we think is against us. Because people say, "Oh, I can't shut my thoughts up. I can't shut myself up. I can't tell the, I can't." And it's like because you've forgotten how, or you've allowed yourself to forget how because you haven't forgotten. Because when things don't go your way, that's the soul reminding you to come back home. Nothing's gonna work. Nothing's gonna make sense. Nothing's gonna come together until you come together. Until you come together with yourself. So basically, it's a simple message today, guys. Is we're talking about freedom, and we can go on and on and on. And those that know us, they know that our passion. The reason why our passion is so strong because our pain was so strong. Our pain was so strong that we were sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, I want to ask you, when are you going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of listening to the copy that you think you are? Listening to the copy that you think that that's all you can be. Somebody was telling me yesterday is, "Oh, that's always what I've been. That's always what I've done." And I told myself the same story. And I asked this person, "So when I was a drug addict, is that always how I was always going to be? Where would I be if I told myself that story today? Oh, I've always been a drug addict. No disrespect, because I know that's a real thing. People are dealing with it right now. But my question to you is it a real thing? Or is it a fabricated thing that we've allowed ourselves to become irresponsible that led to escaping using drugs, in my sense? Because that is the only reason why I use drugs, to escape myself, to go into another reality so that I can escape this reality. So my question to you is, what is the story you're telling yourself always? What is your always story? Because your always story is your illusion of truth that you think. That's all you are. That's all you have. Think about that for a moment. I'm going to write it down right here. What is your always story?
And how many times do we use that word? I'm always late. You always do this. Always, always, always. And that ties you up. That binds you. That word always is a go-to to justify. If at that moment you're upset, angry, sad, uncomfortable in a certain situation, that word will come up. Always. I've always been like that. That's just who I am. Has it served you? And
Isn't that crazy? That we use always. Watch the craziness of this. Do you know, and she knows this, I will never say never.
so never and always.
Always and never. Because when we say, "Oh, I'm always like that," we're programming ourselves, and we're telling ourselves that story, and we're gonna live that story. It's law. You're gonna live that story that you tell yourself. But isn't it crazy when you say, because we're taught this, most of us, I guess. I know I was taught this, that don't ever say never because you'll never know what you'll get. And every time I said never, I realized that I would manifest it. I didn't even know what I didn't know. Excuse me, I didn't even know what I'm knowing now. But when I would say never, I'd be like, oh shoot, because I'm saying never. I'll never do that. I'll never. I'll never.
get married.
Huh? Yeah, I would used to say I'll never get married. People that know me know me. But here's the
That's a
thing.
good example.
So here's the thing. Don't ever say never, because there's never a never.
And limit the always.
Limit the always and don't ever say never. Because when you say never, what you don't want, you're gonna manifest. And what you say always to is what you're lying to yourself. Because there's nothing, in this world of impermanence, there's nothing permanent. I'm gonna write that down. In this world. Oops.
Now, if you're watching later on YouTube, if you're not watching this live, we're still learning how to go through this, and I have a silly question. Do we ever see any comments, or do we know who's on when we're on YouTube and you're going through live stream? Just so we don't leave anybody out. I would not know how that works. So if you do watch this later and you want to help us with our technology, let us know. That way we can live. If not, then just take this as a video for later.
So I'm gonna write. I put that on the screen right now because I want you to meditate on that. We think something is permanent, and we lie to ourselves thinking that this is just the way it is. Just like when you do anything in life, when you start on something, if you put enough action into it, even small amounts of daily action, you will master it eventually. The more action you put into it, the more you will master it. The more attention, the more intention, the more focus, the more your degree of mastery. So, in this world of impermanence, meaning nothing is permanent, nothing is solidified, because we live in a world that is energetic. Nothing is solid in this world. And I might sound crazy for those that don't know, but everything is energy. This has already been proven. So in this world of impermanence, where nothing is permanent, why do we tell ourselves the story of permanence? Because we are our own jailer. We are our own warden, imprisoning ourselves to a life that we're not satisfied with. So this message today is about freedom. So are you unlocking the lock to freedom that you have the keys to? Nobody is going to open that key for you. open that lock for you. Nobody did it for me. We can use different ideas and different beliefs, but who has to take the action? Controversial corner, guys. We don't talk about normal things here. Who has to take the action? And whatever faith you believe, all due respect to all beliefs, I'm grateful for each and every single one of you putting your part, but we're here to step into the next level. Because your belief is not going to save you. It is you taking the action on your belief with faith in action that frees you. And even then, you got to ask yourself if you're free. Because are you free to think? Are you free to be who you are? Are you being something that you're not? Because you've been programmed to believe that that's what you got to be.
Oh, I like that one. Repeat that one more time.
Are you free to be who you are? Are you programmed to believe to be free of what you're not? It comes to me. See, I just flow with this. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying.
What I felt.
All this is coming here.
Okay.
Because if it was coming here, I'd be able to tell you what it is.
Good. Well, what I felt that you said with that is something that our viewers may have felt or thought before, but again, the
I got as
title.
close as I could.
Again, the title being afraid, and.
Is anybody live with us?
I already. Check yourself with that. If you're
Is anybody
afraid,
live? Let's check.
no. If you are afraid to be yourself, wow.
Think about what you.
That's
Think about
that's
what.
heavy. That's heavy
Because we've been there.
Yeah, because that programming, the one thing that brings a fear, I remember, it's very recent. I can still remember the fear of being criticized, the fear of being misjudged. Because we're all judged one way or another. Either we're judged and people say, wow, I love what you're saying, Alice. I feel your love. Oh, then it feels really good. That's a judgment. People are telling me that they are happy with who I am in their life. But what about those that go, Alice, really? You're so ridiculous. Or are you even living on this planet? Where are you? You know, whatever judgment I would get, I would live to please. I would live to make sure that I wasn't criticized. So that was fear of being me. And if being me and my genuineness sometimes doesn't come across as very kind or as normal, then that's okay. I'm going to attract those that do like my weirdness or that do enjoy my company or that can see the value in the way I am. For example, when you get to know yourself, you examine yourself and you love yourself with all the good and the bad and the indifferent and all the flaws. And one thing that I've always been criticized about is that I can give a lecture like there's no tomorrow. Like when I need to talk to someone, some people might not like that. Some people might say, oh my gosh, I'd rather just not have to go through that. I want to hear it from her. But then
I can attest to that.
But then you have those that after they come out of the darkness, they say, wow, I have never met anyone as dedicated, as patient, as thorough, as detailed, someone who can really get in there and feel the pain that I was feeling or can face the darkness of what I hold inside and not run. So which one is it? It all depends on you because me, I'm going to be me. That's just my nature that I love helping people. And if I need to stop what I'm doing and dedicate my time to what's in there, I feel it. There's vibration that's not that great. And if it's not the time, you know what? Then you just go do you and come back later when you're ready. But that's what we do at Samadhi. We just help you find your own self, to love yourself.
Trust yourself.
And once you get there, though, some people rather run. It's not a pretty place to be. Remember, it's dark in there sometimes. There's things that you've saved in there that you don't even know are saved. And so until that comes out and it really cleanses. I heard something that I really loved, and it's so simple. Like when you mop a floor, you're not going to start from the outside and mop inward because you're going to step all over the clean. You can't do that.
That's the
You're
word.
going to go all the way to the dirt. You're going to go all the way to the back, all the way to the end, and you're working your way out. So when you go in there, you're going to go through the dirt floor, but once you start mopping it out, at the end when you're done, you come out clean, and everything else is clean. So when you're checking yourself to be yourself, you need to go through the muck. You need to go through all the dirt, all the mud, everything that's in the way. Start cleansing all the way through, because it happens from the inside out, not the outside in. And that's where people
That's
don't
a
have
good
the
analogy.
patience. They
That's a
don't.
good analogy because think about it. When somebody cleans their floor and they step all over it, they're never happy because they're always going to be stepping on their floor.
Yeah,
And that's what people do in society.
Mhm.
No judgment, but if you think about it, all these people with all these different projects, all these different goals, all these different dreams, and they're accomplishing these dreams. People getting what they've been working hard for, and we see it repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and it's like,
And we're not saying a temporary happy. We're saying a joy that no matter what comes from your life, we've been there. We have learned to a certain degree and remembered that if we're in a certain place and we say, okay, from this moment forward. So yes, maybe yesterday, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe a year ago, I was still dealing with a lot of these issues. But once you become aware of it, then how do you move forward? I love what Patty May says. Love it. I adopt it every day. Today for tomorrow. Today for tomorrow. Patty always says that. Today for tomorrow. So how do we live when we are finally getting to know ourselves? Do we go, oh no, wait a minute, and go back to the dirt and track in the dirt? Do we go back to that dirt? If there's still something there that you need to take care of, great. But we're already here and we know, okay, how do I move forward and still love myself and get to know myself better and live that and really live that? Not a temporary happiness, because I know what you were saying. I agree with that. People are, oh, I already made this. I already published my book. I already got on stage. And I'm talking to those of you that watch these podcasts. We're all family and everyone is doing their own way and bringing their own essence through their podcast. But honestly, once you reach a certain point, oh, when I hit the six figure, when I do this, but are you genuinely really happy? Because happiness is just, it can be temporary. I can be happy when I see a flower bloom, but then it's gonna die. It's not gonna stay in bloom the whole season. So is my happiness based on something temporary or something that just comes so easily?
I think what people
I think it's more joy or this.
I think what people confuse happiness for, because there is a center in the brain that produces dopamine and serotonin, and these are feel-good hormones. And the thing about it is, those hormones are inside of us. But when we have, like you said, a flower or an accomplishment or a goal, this is just a temporary stimulation. And the thing about it is there is a deeper happiness, there is a deeper joy, there is a deeper peace that it comes from the depth of not waiting for something to happen for you to be happy, because that's just stimulation. This is going to the core of who you are and in aligning with that. And then when you start focusing on that, that's why meditation is so key. When you meditate, you're dying, you're starving the brain from all this stimulation. And that's why people run, because the brain it feeds on stimulation. And the brain feeds on stimulation that it doesn't matter if it's talk to somebody who's being abused for many years. That pain feeds a pleasure in the pleasure center that what was painful before now is gratifying. Even though they may complain about it, but it's gratifying because they continue to want it. They continue to put themselves in the environment. I'm telling you from personal experience, because I liked pain. I like literally physical pain. It would stimulate me. It would drive me. It would motivate me. It would strengthen me. So we're telling you from personal experience that the pain or pleasure center, there's always going to be happiness. So really, what is happiness? Because if we can't trust our own judgment of the brain for happiness, then we're listening to the wrong thing. We're allowing the brain to be our masters instead of our servants, instead of us showing what the brain is, instead of us showing to the brain what pleasure is, what true happiness is, what true joy, what true love is. We've been doctored because we say, oh no, the world is programming us. No, we've been doctored to allow the brain to become our master. See, all this didn't just happen overnight. This happened through generations and generations and generations of little incremental steps of forgetting who we are. And all of a sudden now it's just overwhelmed society that we want to ignore. And the more that we ignore it, the more we're going to escalate this dilemma, because it is a catastrophic event that's killing our youth, that's killing our people, that's killing the ability, the capacity for us to unite, for us to love, for us to be, for us to thrive. And the more we can meditate, the more we can let that go. It is a work that cannot be seen in this world, but when you do it in yourself, you'll see it in your world. And when we each individually see our own world, meaning seeing the genuine you, you'll infect, like a bacteria, you'll infect others to be their genuine selves, because you're not going to judge them. So when we start from the inside out, is let's even do another video, Ali. What is happiness? Let's break down what happiness is.
We have to do a part 2
because so many people think happiness is happiness, but let me tell you, we got it all backwards. And when we teach our students, we tell them, when you're coming into these classes, you're going to learn everything is backwards, because we've been listening to the wrong thing. Now, yes, this is good as a tool, but it's not good as the main program. See, we've been listening to this like God. Even in the belief system, even the religions, people that have religions, and I'm going to speak clearly and fully and presently right here, right now, because it's coming forth. Even you that believe in God, even you that believe in a higher power, even you that believe in religion and believe in your own belief system. If you believe the brain, then you don't believe your belief. But the belief is not about the brain. Every main religion, every main belief went deep and said, go to the heart. It's about love. It's about compassion. It's about unity. It's about oneness. And we can't have that if we're not willing to give it to ourselves. If you can't have compassion towards the brain, if you can't unite the brain and the heart, then you're fooling yourself, thinking that you're going to find it out there, thinking that you're going to go on Sunday and feel good, but then the rest of the week you feel like you can't wait for Sunday because you're not content with yourself. And you're doing an injustice to your belief if you cannot be content with yourself. So really show up with yourself, love yourself, because I even said this to somebody the other day, and I repeat this again and again and again. What is the side effect of you loving yourself? It's nothing but greatness. Of course, in the beginning, it's going to feel like, ugh, because you're loving yourself. It's something you're not accustomed to do. You're designed to do, because we're designed to love ourselves. We're loving ourselves in every moment. But here's my question to you. What injustice are you bringing into your world, into your belief, into your religion, into your family, into your environment, into your community, when you don't show up and love yourself? When you don't show up and get to know yourself, because you are doing an injustice to you and your world. And I'm being raw right now. I'm being hard right now, because this is what Ali was talking about earlier. The way she helped me is to say, no, we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into depth of what you're doing right now. If she was nice to me, and it's vice versa, I wasn't nice to her in the beginning. Ask her. Was I nice to you?
When it came to my awakening,
wasn't I brutal?
He was my teacher before he became my friend or my husband. And boy, that was way back in the day when he was just doing this out of pure love for humanity, which he still does, but it was a whole other world. And boy, I mean, literally the one time when I realized, when it hit me and I realized that I create my own reality and that I create whatever it is that I've lived through, I wanted to hide under the desk where we were studying. I literally wanted to hide under that. I felt like I didn't want anybody to see me, but it was me that I didn't want to see me. I didn't want to come to terms with what I have allowed and I have in my life. And that reminds me of a student that we have now that we're working with, and she's a sweetheart. She's very adorable to us, and she's already, um, past her 60s. She's lived her life. The brain keeps going back to when she was 6 years old, and she will, most of the time it's like that word always. I've always been like this since I was 6 years old, and we keep telling her, but you're 70 something, you're not six anymore. Why do you want to keep carrying that? What have you not resolved? And that's the part where we tell you about knowing yourself, about being yourself. And Michael put the title, I'm looking at it right now, Being Afraid of Being Me. And then when you need to identify, well, who is me? That is a very deep, deep process. And some people think it's going to happen overnight and give up. And they rather mirror what society wants them to do.
When really it didn't happen overnight where they got.
Exactly.
See, people don't want to take that factor in.
Yeah, like the 6-year-old
Because if you
didn't
think
do
about
that
it,
overnight, and she's in her 70s, and she'll still, I've always, and we're like, okay, do you want to keep doing that? What is it? It served you to bring you up to here, but how are you going to
and you know what?
go move forward?
What you were saying right now, a visual came to me right now, and I heard this before, and it's a very sensitive subject, but it's very important to talk about. We live in a society where everything is easy. Fast food, go and buy it.
Instant
Everything is
gratification.
just so simple. It's not simple, it's easy. But here's another one. And parents, I don't mean if you get disrespected by this, please know that I'm not disrespecting you. You need to ask yourself why you feel disrespected, because the truth hurts, but it awakens. And the thing about it is, we live in a society where everybody gets awarded. Everybody gets first place or some kind of place that they don't got to work for it, because the parents are going to be like, well, what about my child? Why doesn't my child get an award? It doesn't show the child that it needs to strive for something more. So now we live in a society where we're being comfortable, being uncomfortable, because we're afraid to say to somebody, hey, you need to put your effort in. You need to show up to practice. You need to, let's just say baseball, football, basketball, show up to practice, even in school. Right? And I'm not saying that school is the ultimate place where it's at, because school helps us to get a career in this world, but it doesn't help us to be a human being and to show up in a loving, genuine, compassionate world. Mash these two worlds together instead of just, focusing on one and then, we'll figure it out later. This is why we are where we are. So what Ali was saying earlier is that here at Samadhi, our students will tell you, we're not nice. It's not about positivity. Like I said in the beginning, it's not about positivity. Because if we were to tell our students, oh yeah, just be positive and everything is going to be okay. No. We're the contrary. When our students say, oh, everything is going great, everything is going fine. Let's dive deeper. What's going on? Oh, well, the other day. Okay, let's go with that. Let's go into that. Because when we tell ourselves everything is okay and we ignore the shadow work or the deeper work that we need to do, then there's going to be an explosion. There's going to be a setback that's going to hit hard. And when everything is going okay and you can dive deeper and find what's really going on, then your growth will be like, what is that word called? Your growth will be, it's like another word for incredible, but it's really like intense. Your growth will be intense because you're not lying to yourself. See, the brain wants to think everything is okay. And I love positivity. I love what it stands for. But I believe the genuineness is way beyond positivity. Because when we are positive and we're just focusing on positivity and we're focused on feeling good, we're ignoring the responsibility of what we're called to do. We're ignoring the responsibility, and this is where the scripture says, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. If you spare your own rod to yourself, you're spoiling yourself. And if you're spoiling yourself, you're always going to feel like you need to fit in order to be okay. Instead of saying, where am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What can I do different? Reflect. Reflection is such a powerful tool. We got a comment.
We did.
Always be honest with yourself, Carlos Garcia.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, see, we don't know how this is working. Carlos, thank you for your comment, because
Thank you for showing up,
I'm
Carlos.
looking to see if people are on or how to figure that out. We're still learning this process of going live on YouTube and bringing it to you through Facebook, and I have no idea.
And you know what? That's a good
That's
point right there
foreign
that you
to
said,
me.
because are we being honest with ourselves when we just focus on positivity? Because all we're doing is stimulating the brain to be positive. Now, when you're genuine, and you can look at yourself in the mirror and be good with that person in the mirror, that is not positivity. That is authenticity. That is genuineness, seeing you for you, not acting like something that you're not so you could feel good. Listen to those words again. Being genuine with yourself is being good with you as you are in this moment, not acting like something so you could feel better in the moment. Because, yes, that does work in a sense, but I'm going to tell you this. If you can be good when everything is going wrong and say, you know what? This is a process that I'm going through. Not, oh, I got to be positive. I got to feel good because this is going to get better. No. If you can be good amongst the storms, there's nothing that can throw you down. There's nothing that can beat you down. Because if you're being positive and when you come out of that storm, then you're going to be bouncing back and forth. Or even in the middle of the storm, you're going to feel like you're not positive enough. But when you're genuine with yourself and you tell yourself, wait a minute, this is why I feel uncomfortable. This is why this is showing up. This is why this storm is showing up. You're finding your genuine self because you're questioning your reality instead of fabricating your reality, like putting extra stuff on your reality, instead of getting rid of all that extra stuff and going deep within yourself and saying, where am I in this picture? Why is this showing up? What is this here to remind me? What is this lesson showing up for? Why is this lesson showing up for? And you go deeper into your consciousness and you awaken what's already there instead of trying to add on something that's blocked, that's hindering from something that's you from coming out. Because when you add on to yourself, you're always going to feel that you're less than. But when you take away from adding and you dive deep within yourself, then what you're going to see is growth from who you truly are. And that's going to be another video in and of itself. So thank you, Carlos Garcia. See, just a little comment, because being honest is way light years beyond being positive. Because sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves. And you know what? I'm a very critical person. I'm a very judgmental person. But when I identify that, I can say, then I can now choose this.
And I love that
Because
word,
you
choose.
Yes.
Because sometimes we have this tendency of saying, I had to. I have to. Nobody has to anything. It's like the always. Be careful of that one as well. Oh, I have to go and do this. Oh, I have to go and do this. No,
I've always been like this.
You don't have to do anything. You don't
Or
have
that's
to.
what my parents told me. That's what we heard yesterday.
Yes.
That's what my parents told me. That's what my parents taught me. Parents, they're
And
doing the
that's what
best
I
that they
have
can.
to do. Listen, please, in your path of awakening, in your path of living your own journey, you don't have to do anything. You choose to do.
Freedom is a choice.
Yes.
The choice of freedom.
So everything that you do is really a choice.
Yes.
You can either choose to wallow in your pity and wallow in your in the tendencies that you have, or you have a choice to stand up, dust yourself off, and say, no, I'm done. I can move forward.
I guess.
It's really your choice. It really is your choice. So for those of you, again, who are with us for the very first time, either if you're watching this today, Wednesday, July 10th, 2019, or you're watching it a year from now, or months from now, or weeks, or hours from now, it doesn't matter when you watch this, it's going to be for you. What do we do here at Samadhi? We help you get into that place.
And that's what I just wrote right now. Get addicted to genuineness. Yeah. That's why meditation is so fundamental. It's the foundation. I don't care what you do. I don't care what your vision is. I don't care what your goal is. I don't care what your profession is. I don't care what your career is. I don't care what your education is. I don't care where your experience is. Meditation is the foundational tool, foundational key to everything. Because if you don't know who you are in the doing of what you're doing, then you're never going to be true to you. So when you can find who you are, when you can rediscover who you are, whatever you do is just going to enhance.
Yes.
Whatever you're accomplishing is just going to enhance. Meditation doesn't threaten anything of what you're doing unless you're being unauthentic with yourself. The only thing that meditation threatens or destroys is the false illusion of self and what you're doing. So if whatever you're doing, you're being false to yourself, I love what it says, that this person says to a master, to a teacher, he says, but will I lose? What will I gain from meditation? And the teacher says, nothing, absolutely nothing. But you'll lose the anger, the guilt, the resentment, the stress, the anxiety, the hopelessness, the powerlessness. You'll lose all the stuff that you're not. Carlos commented on something. Something that I have learned to say is yo quiero y prefiero. It's better to say that it helps you see things in another perspective. Beautiful.
Yes.
I'm going to translate that to English. I want, I prefer. No, I want and prefer. Is that right?
Yeah.
I desire and I prefer.
Instead of saying I have to. I have to do this.
That's beautiful, Carlos.
I prefer and I desire, or I want.
Yes.
One thing I would like to bring it almost here to a close. I don't like times, but I will repeat this for those of you who maybe just joined us and don't want to go through the whole 50 minutes of the video, or just as a refresher and a reminder. When you enroll in our classes, when you take that step of faith and say, you know what, I want to learn, I want to be able to remember who I am, and I'm going to go to Michael and Allie because there's something I feel about them. I feel that they're genuine. I feel that what they do really, really comes from the heart, and I want to learn from them. We had one other student who just showered us with these words when he said, it's the love that you and Michael have for yourselves, but for what you do for humanity, that I would love to bring to my world. And so in our case, what we would love to instill right now and to bring to your heart is that we are really here because we care, and we are really here because we find value in the stories, in the life that we lived, that we're only here to share with you our experience. We're not here to share with you what other people do or how they do it. My respects to everyone and how they go about themselves. It's just our experience says, you know what, this is what worked for me, this is what didn't work for me, and this is how I made it through what we made it through.
And before we go, Instagram is going to be cut out because they only do an hour. So Instagram, thank you for joining us.
Instagram.
You can watch the full video on YouTube on our channel. And before we go, please subscribe to our channel, guys, because YouTube only allows us to go mobile if we have 1,000 subscribers. And we're not doing this, to get 1,000 subscribers. We're saying help us to be able to broadcast wherever we are.
Yes, because we do.
Because for some reason, a lot of places are monetizing everything. So you got to have a certain amount of people to be able to be free to broadcast.
Yes. So as I was saying, bring it back to you. And just know that if you choose, whenever you choose, if it's in your heart, if you're tired of being tired, if you desire to really be good with yourself and to be free to be you, but you're still trying to discover what it is, and there's too much noise in your head to allow you to really get to the core of who you are, please look us up. Either message me personally, message Michael, send us an email, whatever you would like. If you want to put our email up on there, that would help. And this way, you can get your tailor fit class to you. Now, if you prefer to be in a group and you'd like to create a group, or you want to join a group, that's great too. The most important thing is take that first step. If you've been on the border of, do I need to do something different? I've been doing the same old, and I get to the same place, and I go to workshops, I go to events, and I end up If you really need to do something for you and you went crazy talking about what who are just going on themselves, we're going to find out. If you have the curiosity, then that means something's stirring inside.
Yes.
So,
What we do, and here's another thing. How one more students as we experiment is that we remember along with you guys of sharing this journey with. So in this world, in this the or the world is going to become conscious. It's you. It's you. You are. It's not about Ali or because our truth is limited to share. Our truth is infinite. We serve reminders to our own truth.
your magic and full name, how it's spelled, so they can find it on Facebook and then put your name.
So
at the beginning, we keep forgetting to tell you this is Alice. Yeah, just put like Alice, you know, the whole name on Facebook with my full, a very unique name, so you won't find it. And that's why I have my
that's
spell it out.
This is mine.
And then a little bit. Okay, so then that is put through my name, or and say I would love to know more about Alice, or I would love to share. And then is Michael, and or find on Facebook as well.
So that's Alice's information. I'm going to be putting up mine in a second. So bringing up this live spell it. Yep. Is free. Are you free to be you? It's a little bit of effort. It's a little bit of effort every day. Because ego wants to get it done. A little bit of effort every day. And you'll be surprised at the results of where you months, 6 months, a year from now. And it's not together. Remember this of effort. We're taught to work hard, we work less. And until work has already been done from inside of us. If you got a job in a profession, in this world you work hard. But we're taught to discover who you are. It's really not hard work. It's simple, easy. But when you do simple work every day, doesn't have results. And when you discover who you are, it's the gift to yourself that you give to the world. And your purpose is to express potential, express your full emotion, because the world is, you are not insignificant. In this video are very, each and every single one of us are, each thought, each action has a ripple effect in an enormous capacity. It's already affecting our world and our immediate external world. Are you willing to step up for yourself? Do your favor, the blessing, the gift. Be more. To love more.
Thank you for watching today. Join us again next Wednesday. We say 7 a.m. sometime. does not allow us to do that. Last week was that happened with Facebook and down, and Instagram was down, so I don't think. But next Wednesday, and be you.
Thank you. Blessings.
Yes. Thank you.
Just be you. Get out. Get into your heart.